What up, it's your boy Chuckie, and I represent the Dirty Dutch, and you're watching Brandnite TV right here, baby.
I'm your host, BK Duke. On my left side, it's Chuckie. Nice to have you in the show.
Thank you, man. Thanks for having me.
Yeah, thank you. So, you had an awesome new performance on stage. I saw you together with WW, Dyro, Showtech on stage back to back. So, how does it come?
It was really crazy. It was actually an accident. I was in Mykonos yesterday in Greece. And then I lost my music, my USB, everything was lost. And I found out when I got here, so I was like in trouble, you know? And then the guys from Showtech and Dyro, they were like, you know what? Let's all go on stage, let's go crazy. We're gonna play some Chuckie songs, some Showtech, some Dyro, some W&W. And it worked out really well. It was crazy. It was like everybody went so crazy, and people from all over the world. You know, I saw people from Spain, I saw people from Germany, Holland, Switzerland, Italy. So much love, man.
I saw a lot of crazy people going crazy with your animation style. So you shout out to the people. Yeah. People are doing what you are saying on stage. So how does that feel?
I think, you know, first of all, it feels really good, but I think the people just go crazy and do whatever I say because, you know, they just have a great party mood. You could see it, you know, people from left, right, front, back, everybody had their hands up constantly. People were enjoying, screaming, sitting down, jumping up. So I think because it's a very special festival, the location is nice, and that's why people are in a good mood to party. So obviously, you know, when everybody's in a good mood, they do whatever you tell them. So they went absolutely bananas.
Maybe that's a new style of festival. So people staying in front of the stage, so watching more DJs, not only 2 DJs, so maybe 4, 5 DJs playing back to back. Maybe that's a crazy new thing for festivals.
Well, it was a great idea, first of all, you know, when everybody said, let's go back to back to back. So when everybody was on stage, the people were like really surprised. Because normally, you know, I would be just me, and now I was with Dyro, WW, Showtech. So the people get more, you know, so they got really hype, and I think that really worked out fine. And it could be something cool for the future to do on festivals, just go together and do back to back to back.
Maybe. So tonight, people can't see your DJ skills, so but you call yourself the master of mixing. So why?
I don't call myself the master of mixing. It's actually funny, I don't even know why people call me that, but maybe because I have a hip-hop background, so my techniques from hip-hop I use in house music, so I mix a little faster, I scratch it up a little bit, and I think in house that's not really normal, you know? So I think that's why people start to say like, yeah, he's different.
That's great. So I saw on your Twitter account a very, very funny picture from Avicii. Yeah. Maybe like a little bit hip hop style. So how does it come?
It's funny, you know. First of all, let me get it straight. You know, Avicii is a really good friend of mine. I know him since he was like, you know, the Swedish kid with talent, and now he's the big guy, Avicii. And there's this new single from a guy called Meek Mill's a hip hop guy, and his song called Levels. And I was like, it's funny, so I put Avicii's face on it. I'm really proud of him, you know, the way he got so big with his music. And you think after, for example, Bromance, he cannot deliver. He did Levels, and now again, you know, his new single is crazy.
Yeah. If I watching you all together on stage and also maybe outside the stage, it seems like to be a big family. So it's a little bit different, like maybe in Germany, because a lot of DJs fighting each other, little bit jealousy.
You know, competition is everywhere, but because everybody, there's like house music, like the scene is so big, there's enough for everybody, you know, you can share the stage. So it's the best way to just love and embrace each other, and that's what actually happens. And you know, it's because of that love we were able to pull something like this off, you know. I mean, if we would hate each other, it would never happen. So I'm glad it's there, I'm glad the love is there, but that's, for me, that's what house music is all about, you know. It started with love.
So tell us a little bit about your remix you have done for the King of Pop. You made the only remix. So how you get into this work?
It was crazy. I remember I was on vacation in the Caribbean, and then suddenly my phone rang, and you know, the company called me. I think it was Sony, and they called me. They're like, "Listen, we want you to remix Michael Jackson." And I was like, "Wow!" I was in shock, because how do you remix Michael Jackson? You know. So that's really hard. But yeah, so I started fresh and made something out of it. And I was happy that I could deliver, because, you know, it's the King of Pop we're talking about. But it's crazy how people in general call you. Like, you know, one time Enrique Iglesias called me, he personally called me to make a remix for him.
You did?
Yes, I did. I did 2 remixes for Enrique Iglesias. And it was just crazy that people like them call, you know. I mean, I was already happy when David Guetta called me to make a remix for him. I did 2 remixes for him. And then, you know, all these big pop artists call you to remix. It's insane. Yeah. And I must say the Michael Jackson one is probably the biggest one I've ever did.
Yeah. I think so, because now it's not possible any longer to do remixes for him. And he's the real King of Pop, or?
He's definitely the real King of Pop. He is still one of my biggest inspirations. You know, guys like him, Bob Marley, Jay-Z even still, and he's still alive, luckily. He's one of my biggest inspirations. So, you know, I'm happy that I could do something for the King of Pop.
So tell me, how you handle all this stuff? You DJ, you producing, you have your own label.
I have a really big team working with me. Like, I think 25 people work every day, you know, working with me.
25 people?
Yeah, you know, making sure my gigs are okay, online stuff. I do my Twitter and Instagram, I do myself, of course. But the gigs, the traveling, it's so much. The label, you know, the music, that, you know, I had to have a team. And I'm really happy with my team, with the Dirty Dutch family. So I'm really happy I have that right now. And because of them, I'm here, you know.
So what can we expect next from you? What is in your pipeline?
I just finished 2 videos. One is like more vocal song, like a house dance song, like more for the radio, because I never make music for the radio for myself. So I was like, okay, let me make one track with vocals. And also another exciting project, I made a track with 2 hip-hop guys, Lupe Fiasco and Too Short, and Snow the Product. It's a new single. It's called Making Papers. It's gonna come out like in 2 weeks.
That's fine. Yeah. So what we can expect, maybe an album also from you?
Yes, I've been working on an album for like years. I cannot finish the album. It's so hard, because, you know, every time I learn something new, and my style, you know, keeps getting updated. So it's really hard to close an album and say this is the album. So I keep on making music and gonna put a lot of stuff out. And hopefully I will say one day, like, you know, this is enough, this is an album. Okay.
So how do you start your production in music? Maybe a beat, bass line, just an idea in your head?
Sometimes you start in the plane, you know. Most of the time I start in a plane or hotel, and I make the tracks there, like a rough setup, and then I take it to the studio and I try to work out with vocals. Sometimes you start with a vocal idea, or with a melody, or with drums. It's all different, you know. It depends on the vibe. But most of the time when I go into the studio, I don't really have a plan. I just go in and see whatever inspiration takes me.
On the fly.
Yes.
Great. So before we end the interview, let's do a very short asking game. I have some questions for you. Action or love movie?
Action.
Black or white?
Black.
Boxer short or brief?
Boxer short.
CD or vinyl?
Vinyl.
Beer or champagne? Be careful.
Champagne.
I saw it on stage. A lot of champagne. Loud or quiet?
Loud.
Really? I heard you hate this loudness war in music.
Yeah, it's crazy, like there's this loudness war going on in music, and it's, it kind of takes away the soul and the basic idea of good songs.
Okay. So next one, Mac or PC?
Mac.
Pioneer or Allen and Heath mixer?
Pioneer, of course.
Festival or small clubs?
Festival and small clubs.
That's it. So I want to thank you, Chuckie, for joining Brandnite TV. Thank you for having you here.